when I came across automations and I was like, holy shit, automations are insane. It's like AI, but on steroids. Like this is what I need to learn because this is insanely powerful. People are like, how have you grown so fast? I'm like, lead magnets and automations. That's the answer. I'm never going to have a virtual assistant just because they need to know what I know and they don't have the technical expertise that I do. Therefore, they're of no use to me because I can automate their job.
Now, for someone starting from scratch, what does the first 30 days of LinkedIn growth plan should look like?
Copy what's working. Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel, just copy somebody else. That's my advice. LinkedIn algorithm is pretty forgiving. Like you can go like a week without posting and it doesn't matter. If you go a week without posting and you post something that people want, then the algorithm will just push it up because people like it.
Welcome to the Agency Insider Show, where we uncover the systems and strategies behind agency growth and marketing innovation. I'm your host, Navneet Kaushal, and today we are diving deep into the automation, lead generation, and personal branding with someone who mastered all three, John Peslar. John is an automation strategist and LinkedIn growth expert who built fully automated lead gen systems using N10, AI, and smart outreach frameworks. He's grown his own followership from zero to over 21,000 in just 4 months. And today we are unpacking exactly how he did it, how agencies can replicate this system, and how to scale client acquisition without burnout. John, welcome to the Agency Insider Show.
Hey, good to be here. It's actually 23,000 now, still within 4 months.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm sure by the time this goes live, it would be 25.
Yeah, we'll see if another lead magnets puts me over that threshold.
Okay. So now, right. So let's talk about your journey. You built a name in a short time around automation and growth. How did it all started?
Yeah, so I started this in June of this year. I wanted to become I've been doing automations for not too long, actually, just over 6 months. And I was like, okay, I want to start an AI agency. There's different channels that you can use for go-to-market. I mean, obviously it's social medias, right? So I looked at all my social medias. It's like, okay, I have an Instagram, like 500 followers, which isn't that much. I have LinkedIn, which is like just under 1,000 followers, which is like, okay. I have a YouTube, which not many followers there. And then I have an X, same thing, like 100 followers. It's like, okay, well, I'll go with the one that has the most followers, LinkedIn. And let's take a look at LinkedIn. There's a lot of automation creators on LinkedIn. I was like, okay, cool. And a lot of them were doing the lead magnets. They were like basically showing like an N8N workflow and being like, this N8N workflow did all these crazy things, comment down below and get that workflow. I was like, cool, this is what I need to do. I've never done content creation before on LinkedIn, any of this stuff. I don't have time to like build out a content calendar all by myself. So I hired somebody. I did like an Upwork job post. I hired like a virtual assistant, somebody that claims to have done this before. I got them for cheap, paid them like a few $100, whatever. And then they helped me do it. And they helped me like build out like pretty much like a content calendar, a bunch of posts, like posts so I could just start posting on a regular basis. And so I started to do that in June. And around the end of June, some of my posts went viral, like a little, like not super viral. Instead of getting like 1,000, impressions, we're getting like tens of thousands of impressions, like maybe 20,000, 30,000 impressions, which is pretty good, right? And so then some people were actually commenting like, give me the lead magnet, give me the lead magnet. I was like, oh crap. And so then me and my virtual assistant were like, basically tag teaming, like as like a team, like, responding to these people, right? And then my account started getting banned a lot because my virtual assistant was using my account at the same time that I was using the account, or my virtual assistant was responding too fast, or I was responding too fast, and LinkedIn just assumed that we were automations. So because LinkedIn doesn't know if like a human's operating your account, if AI is operating your account, if agents are operating your account, it has no idea. It just sees the IP address. That's it. That's all it sees. And then it sees the request that you do. So then I realized like, Man, this is bad. Like, I need to solve this problem. My account ended up getting banned 3 times, like in a row, within like a 2 or 3 week time frame. And I got locked out of my account. The last time it happened, it hasn't happened for a very long time, but the last time it happened, I was locked out of my account for like 3 days. 3 days I was locked out. And one of my lead magnets was like went viral and got like 100,000 views. And I was like, "Ooh, I need to fix this." So then I built an automation system that connected to LinkedIn and started to do this automatically. And then I got really good at making my own lead magnets by myself using Claude, and I developed a system for doing it. And then I just got rid of my VA, and since then things have really blown up. Like, can I share my screen now?
Yes, please.
Okay, choose which screen to share. We do this one. Cool. Okay, so here's my LinkedIn. See 23,000 followers. So if I click on my posts analytics here, if we move this to 365, we change this to daily, show results.
Wow.
Hang on. Let's change to daily. Here we go. Okay. There we go. So as you can see, yeah, I was posting and like nothing was really happening. Like, and then June is when traction started to actually happen, right? Got like one post that actually did well in June, like 28,000 impressions, right? And then when I got rid of my virtual assistant was July. And as you can see in July, that's when I've had multiple posts go viral. The best one was October 1st. Oh, this month. Look at that. Did 200,000 impressions in a given day. That's incredible. And just recently, I had one go mega viral, and looks like it's my third best performing post. Yeah, did pretty well. So when these posts go viral, like you just get so many people just overwhelm you. Like everybody wants the lead magnet, whatever that lead magnet is. The post that's going viral right now is this one. It's about OpenAI Atlas, the Atlas browser.
What would you be giving it this browser?
I'm just giving a guide. Yeah. See, I just finished the complete Atlas business playbook, 273 pages, 31,000 words, 50 workflows. It's not 50 workflows. Shit. It's actually 50 prompts.
Good. We are doing live.
It doesn't matter. It says down here the exact prompts, processes, and strategies top teams are using right now. Yep. Yeah. All of this is true. Yeah. So I get Claude to write all of this. Claude even writes my playbooks. It writes everything, and I just prompt it. And this here, this is just a GIF of a just from ChatGPT's website. That's it. I just took a screen recording of it. I converted it into a GIF. The quality is not that good, but that's on purpose because you can't upload high quality GIFs on LinkedIn. LinkedIn just doesn't allow it. Only low quality GIFs are accepted. So yeah, when people are overloading you, as you can see, like all these comments here, anytime anyone ever comments on anything, it automatically funnels into a repository, a data repository. And right now I'm using Google Sheets as a data repository. So you can see all of the comments here are all here. And I have a system, I have many systems. They're all like N8N workflows that pretty much goes through each of the comments, checks if the comments are lead magnet related or not. If they're not lead magnet related, then it marks them as processed. And then another system will, basically check if the column is empty and this column has been checked, then it will work all of these unprocessed. I call them unprocessed rows. Okay. And for each unprocessed row, it basically does what the human would do on LinkedIn. For example, I have a person here, Anthony, and I would look at Anthony and I would see if Anthony and I are connected or not. Oh, my internet is slow. So if we're not connected and Anthony has sent me a connection request, then it accepts the connection request. So the system auto accepts all connection requests automatically. Then if we are connected, what it does is it generates a comment. It delivers that comment here on the post. So it replies to the person. I'd have to go down really far to show you the replies, but It's in here. So it replies to the person, and then it delivers the lead magnet resource
So
via
it
direct
doesn't,
message.
does it once a day or something?
It does it all the time. This thing's always running.
Okay, so
So
because
I'll
the
show you in
recent one,
just.
I can't see the comments. That's why I was asking.
Oh, it's because there's like 1,000 comments that are unprocessed, and I have to go through 1,000 to get to the ones where you can see. But anyways, you can see right now, like look at the timestamps. It's delivering the messages right now. 12:23, 12:23, 12:22, 12:21. The current time is 12:24. There we go. It just sent another one. See?
And it
And if
doesn't
I
it doesn't trip the system
no,
like LinkedIn.
no, because it mimics human behavior. So if I go ahead and I take a look at Marcel here, if we look through his history, this guy's German, we can see that once it loads, my internet is just slow. So sorry.
No
We're gonna have
problem.
to wait.
We will.
Yeah. I'm in Chile right now, and Chile has fantastic internet. Every single Airbnb I've been at, except this Airbnb, it's been awful. It's been like, yeah, it's been like this the entire time. It works and then it doesn't work, and then it works and it doesn't work. It's like, fuck me. Sorry, swearing. Not supposed to do that, but it's not normally this bad.
Okay. Okay, got it.
You get it. I've replied to his comments, and if this
Okay.
loaded properly, then we'd be able to
No,
see it.
I
So
got the gist. Okay,
yeah,
so but what you are
yeah.
trying to say is everything is automated. You are not even lifting your finger.
Yeah, so as you can see, just in the past 2 minutes, see how I highlight these comments? We've had 2 rows here that have been processed. Yeah, yeah. And so how you interact with this system is every single day you get an email. I call it the daily activator.
Hmm.
I'm always sending emails all the time because I have hundreds of automations running all the time. So I have my daily activator here. I have clients enrolled that are using this system right now. So let me find mine. Where's mine? Is it this one? It's this one. Yeah. Okay. So there's 6 workflows that are that
For this
there's
for
6
this
work
one for this one post.
for the entire system for handling lead magnets. So 2 of the workflows is automatic. It just runs automatically. The first one is bringing in the comments into the system here. So all these comments just automatically flow in all the time.
Okay.
These are all unprocessed comments. Yeah. So we're at 5,574. That's just for this month of October. So we'll be closing out October soon. These are all warm leads, by the way. So now I can sell these people stuff, which is awesome. I got my own custom list, which is nice. So that's the first one. The second workflow is the categorizing the comments, checking the comments to see if they're lead magnet or not, which is what the prior workflow did. So that's what all these check columns are. So it checks the comment here. As you can see, this comment is just somebody just said 273 pages. Man, the AI agent marked it as processed. So I never did this. This was done automatically. It writes a rationale for why it marked it as processed. It says the comment is casual, does not contain any explicit lead generation keywords, variation, or emojis representing them. Cool. So it's not lead magnet. So it did that correctly. So once this is done processing the comments, afterwards you get an email, and that email tells you to run the next workflow. You click the button in the email and it triggers the workflow and it runs the workflow. So right now it's running this workflow. Okay. So once it's done doing all of this, then I
Just
have
one question.
the
So
second.
on the step
Yeah.
do you have to click trigger workflow? It's all automated.
You click the button and then it activates the workflows. It's done that
Why
way
do you
on
need?
purpose.
Right. Why?
So that the human can make sure that it's doing things properly. That's why.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Further down the road, eventually this thing will just be completely autopilot. But I mean, clicking a button takes 2 seconds. And you're saving like 50 hours a week from doing this.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So
But
it's
I
pretty
was
good.
just thinking with your slow internet.
Well,
joking.
yeah, it is terrible. Yeah. Can't
Okay.
moving the Airbnb tomorrow. Yeah. So this
Okay.
so I have a lot of people, not a lot, but the instructions for these lead magnets is pretty straightforward, which a lot of people don't follow. Oh, here's an example of me commenting, sending it over now, and this guy liked it. So if we click on this, If it loads, it loaded, great. So as you can see, this was automatically generated by the AI and sent via the AI agents, yeah. And this guy got the lead magnets. So yeah, so some people don't follow the instructions. My instructions are simple. If you want the playbook, you need to comment, you need to like, and you need to connect with me, right? So the people who don't connect with me, I send them a message, and the message looks like this. I say, hey, we're not connected. So I can't send you a DM. After we're connected, send me a DM with the keyword and I'll reply there. Okay. So then what happens is I get a ton of people sending me DMs. And so I have a DM system. So anytime somebody DMs me, I have workflow running that categorizes it automatically. So as you can see here, these are all the DMs. Look at all these DMs that are all about Atlas. And I can see over here in column H, I have not replied to all of these people. So I have not replied to, we can do a quick count right now. A lot. Yeah, I gotta run this workflow to reply to these people.
Like more
I think
than
I'll do
100.
that next.
So what happens? So you have to manually reply these?
No, I click a button and it does it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I never manually do it, but let's do the count. 144 needs to be replied to. Yeah. So that's, yeah, people, and a lot of people do it. As you can see, a lot of people are sending me a DM with the keyword. A lot of people don't follow the instructions properly. I get people that do not DM the keyword. And if they don't DM the keyword, well, then the message doesn't get stored here and they don't get the response. And that's a dumb problem because they didn't follow the instructions. The instructions are clear.
That is like a dead. So that's a dead end.
For them, yeah. But it's the chance of that happening is pretty low. Here's an example here. Hi, John. Can you send me the deck? Which deck? Keyword, please. There we go.
Right. This is your first manual, I'm sure, this month. First manual reply.
I mean, I like communicating with people, so I do it manually here and there. I mean, it's good to do it because people you can ask them questions about stuff and then you can figure out their problems and then you can be like, hey, I got a solution for you. Buy my thing. And so it converts to sales.
Exactly. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, I do get this sometimes. It's not that much. Mainly people follow the prompts, but it's maybe like 1 out of 10. They don't give me the keyword. Something like that. So yeah, when this is done running, which it will be done running in a moment, then we'll get the email pretty soon, I suspect. Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh yeah, so it's very close. So it just has 3 more to process. And then I'll show you what the email looks like for the next one. Then we'll run the next workflow. And we get to see this working in real time. This is fun. So yeah, basically this system replies to everybody, and what makes this system beautiful and what's helped me with my success compared to other people is that a lot of people are doing lead magnets, like a lot of people are, but not everybody's doing the automated lead magnets. Like this is a guy here that he does a lot of lead magnets, but he doesn't respond to everybody. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I know this.
Yes, right. See, as you can see, there's been a lot of unresponded ones. And there's not many comments in this, so he should have responded to all of them.
So this is your ideal customer then, whom you should be selling the system?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I haven't done it. I have like 3 or 4 people. Basically, I'm not doing any outbound marketing on this right now. It's all word of mouth. People who have contacted me, they have seen me respond to all the comments. They're like, bro, how's that possible? How can you respond to each one? Or because they don't know that these systems exist. There is a competitor. It's called Lead Shark. And I do know I've transitioned some customers over from Lead Shark because Lead Shark sucks. It's a garbage product. It only responds to like 200 comments. That's it. And once you hit those 200, you're done. So if your post goes viral, well, then you have to respond to them manually, which happens a lot. I mean, a lot of posts go viral, right? Like you want posts to go viral. So yeah. Like imagine if I had Lead Shark with this and I only responded to 200 of, let's say 3,000 comments. Well, then Now I have to manually respond to thousands of comments. And if I don't respond to those comments, well, then FOMO doesn't happen. And we want FOMO to happen because when the number gets higher, when the more comments that I respond to, this number here, the comment number gets higher and higher and higher. When that number gets higher and higher and higher, people's FOMO gets higher and higher and higher. So it's just a ripple effect that just keeps compounding and compounding and compounding. So you need to respond fast, and you have to be doing it all the time. The faster you respond, the higher the numbers you have, the more FOMO people get, right? That's a big part of my success is because of this. And one of my biggest success clients, Otto, when he started using my system, man, he went from like 5,000 followers to 15,000 followers with my system. Because the FOMO effect, it works really well. So he's had a lot of viral posts, and thank God his post went viral with my system, because he would have never gotten to where he is. Maybe he'd have like, I don't know, like 7,000 followers, but he wouldn't have the 15,000 followers he has right now. This one is 194. This one 2,721. All responses done in my system. This one 2,596. 1,858. So yeah. This is the biggest one, 5,897. All responded through by my system, all of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can see here, the exact same system. See, it's the exact same.
That's you. Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. But by him. Yeah. So he's had mega success because he makes his own lead magnets. He's pretty good at this, but there's no way that he can respond to this. He told me that when he was using LeadShark only works with one web browser. You can't use it with multiple web browsers. It only responds to 200 comments, and you can't use LeadShark and your LinkedIn at the same time. So he was using LeadShark in his LinkedIn, and then he got banned. And he got banned 3 times in a row while using his LinkedIn plus LeadShark. He got banned. So yeah, LeadShark is really, really crappy. It's like that old Honda Civic that just keeps breaking down. It's better than not having a car, but man, is it a crappy car. So I feel bad for people that are using it. It sucks. Okay. But their marketing's good. They have good marketing. I haven't done any marketing. So eventually I'll do the marketing. But yeah, the system works, and that's a big part of my success is honestly, it's lead magnets. It's lead magnets and the system for handling the lead magnets. That's really it. It creates this crazy FOMO effect, and man, does it work. Like people are like, how have you grown so fast? I'm like, lead magnets and automations. That's the answer.
Okay, so shall we move to the next segment?
Yeah.
Okay, and is okay to remove the screen now?
Yeah, I'll just trigger the next workflow. So let's see, as you got the email here letting me know that number 3 was done. If I want to proceed to next workflow, which I should, I haven't ran this workflow in a few days because I've been going through the backlog, but I'll go ahead and click the button. What it's doing is it's triggering a webhook. That's all we see here is a success message. I'll make this more pretty one day, but right now I just get a success message. And if I go into the spreadsheet here, and if I go to, this is it here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so it will be starting here. So basically, we see it's been checked. Here's the status here. So it's going to mark each of these checked. And if they are, for the reason it does this, here we go. See, I just did another one. A lot of people will comment and also DM me at the same time. And of course, we process the comments first over the DMs. So the reason this system is done is in place it checks to see if I've already responded with the lead magnet resource or not. That's all this system does. And if, and as you can see, it does a lot of checks. If it catches that I've already responded, then it gives the status here of checked and processed, which we have seen a few times. Yeah. So that's why this one is done, because so we've done it, it's caught it 49 times recently, 49 times. So it works because we don't want people to get duplicate messages, because we don't want people to think that there's AI and automations doing this. We want people to think that this is a human operating the account. And so it's a genuine connection, a genuine experience. Yeah. So then once this is done, oh, look, it just found one. See, checked and processed. So then once this is done, then the next workflow will actually respond to the ones that are all no's, that have no and checked. So that's what it does. But yeah, now I can stop sharing. Hopefully you enjoyed that.
Yeah, I have a lot of follow-up questions, which we're going to do now.
Great.
Okay. So, so now the most important thing is that so as your background, how long you've been doing this automation?
Only 6 months. Less than
Okay,
6
well, I
months,
mean,
actually.
your
Yeah.
professional background, if you can tell to our listeners.
Oh yeah. So I'm a product manager. I was a product manager for SaaS companies. I'm from Canada. I'm from Toronto.
Okay.
So yeah, I started being a product manager in 2020 during COVID, and I worked at 3 different businesses. I was in crypto, payments, and gold and silver, precious metals, and I just built like SaaS products for these companies. So that's my background. I'm not technical at all, just a product manager, just a regular Joe, not technical. But late last year, quit my job, decided to take some time off work. I actually traveled India for a month. That was fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
took the train across. I went from Calcutta, to Varanasi, to Delhi, up to Rishikesh in the north. Yes, went across the northern part of India. That was fun. Yeah, love the
Right.
food. Yeah.
Right.
What's that?
I am in Delhi right now.
Oh yeah, Delhi's
Okay.
Delhi's crazy, man. Awesome,
Crazy.
great food, but what a
Yeah.
crazy city that is. Crazy in a good way.
Okay. So then how come, my question was that how come you stumbled upon N10 and automations like that?
Yeah. So during my travels, I got bored of traveling, and I was like, okay, I need to reskill because my goal was always to reskill. I want to learn AI and learn how to code and stuff like that. So I did a boot camp in Singapore for 1 month. It was early this year, like March of this year, something like February, March. And I learned to basically vibe code and build web apps and stuff like that. I was
Okay.
already self-teaching me my stuff this, and then they were doing a lot of like webinars, and people were teaching. There were some people there that were automation experts, and that's when I came across automations, and I was like, holy shit, automations are insane. It's like AI but on steroids. Like this is what I need to learn because this is insanely powerful. This can replace teams of people, literally. So then after that, I started to learn it. I didn't really do too much learning. I ended up, I was still a product manager. I was just working contract jobs, so I had full-time clients. But I didn't really start taking it seriously and actually learning it seriously until about May. May is when I really, yeah, it's like the end of April, May. May is when I actually started to really learn it. And I started to participate in school, like school.com. I joined a lot of communities. They have like weekly webinars, and I met other people that had like, just beginners that knew nothing about automations, and basically just self-taught myself how to do this with other people that were at the same skill level. That's it. So basically just self-taught.
Okay. Now, of course, you do this with a lot of founders as well. Now, my thing is that what's the mindset shift founder needs when transitioning from manual prospecting like this to an automatic growth? Do they feel hesitant? What does they need to do?
It depends on the founder. It depends on the business. Some businesses that have been exposed to automations, or maybe have like they've personally been exposed to it, or they have watched a lot of YouTube videos of like automation creators like Liam Otley or any of those guys, and they've seen like these workflows. They've seen them in action. Like, holy shit! Like, I need this. So you have that group of people. Like, I
Right.
need this. So just do it. I see that it works. And then you have the other group of people that have no idea what automations are, and they just think it's ChatGPT. Like, their level of AI knowledge is just ChatGPT, and those are the ones where like they don't even think it's possible. They think that we're still at ChatGPT level. It makes hallucinations. It's stupid. It can't replace humans. Like, that's what they think. So I don't bother with those people.
Okay.
Because they're just a waste of time. Yeah. So mainly what I first do is I identify their knowledge level of automations, and I qualify them based on that. If they, if they need it. So if they believe that automations work, then we go through the process of, figuring out if this makes sense for them. So
Okay.
I do two different types of LinkedIn automations. I showed you the inbound, the lead magnets. We also do outbound as well. Outbound is the newest product that we're bringing to market.
Okay.
That one is really cool because with that one, it automates the entire outbound process from getting a list from Sales Navigator, scripts a list from Sales Navigator. It qualifies the list. So I got like a series of AI agents that go through and research the prospect, qualify the prospect based on who your ICP is, filter out the non-qualified ones. And this is really important because anytime you get a list anywhere, that list is going to be, doesn't matter how many filters you put in Sales Navigator, Apollo, Clay, it doesn't matter. There's still going to be unqualified people in that list, and a human has to go through and qualify that list, right? So that replaces, and that's time consuming. That takes a lot of time. You got to research the company. You got to make the decision, like if they qualified or not, I don't know. And then you got to record your decision. So this is done completely automated. And then we have the second part of the system. If they are qualified, the system qualifies them. Then it basically creates, it scrapes their profile, their LinkedIn profile, creates hyper-personalized messages, and sends the messages to them automatically.
Once a DM goes, let's say you have an ICP, you contact, a DM is sent, then is there a second sequence to it?
It's all completely automated. So
but
the
there is
only
a
thing that we get from it's a sequence. Yeah, it's completely automated sequence. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It runs automatically twice a day, and it does about 21 leads at a time. It processes, and it will send out about 100 to 150 messages per week, which is within LinkedIn's Sales Navigator limits. We send out the messages as a connection request. So when you make a connection request on LinkedIn, you have the option to add a personalized note. And so we create the messages with the personalized note and is sent as that, which ends up being sent as a DM once they accept the connection request. Yeah.
Now, what's your process for warming up these leads before you pitch? So is there a warming up, or you just like their post or something, or it's just straight away you send a personalized request?
Right now, it's just sending the personalized request. There's no warm-up process. We're going to add that in. But to be honest, like if you send a really good message, like you don't really need the warm-up process. Like that's just a nice to have. The warm-up process is really good for sequences that don't have any personalization at all. It's good for that. Yeah.
Okay. And now, I mean, what is one mistake you see most people make when they're trying to do LinkedIn outreach? One you said is, of course, they don't send a good personalized message at the time of connect. But are there any other mistakes you see people making often?
All the time. Yeah, so many. A big one is when you get a list from Sales Navigator, that list, you set the filter and you filter it by industry, right? That just because let me take a step back. Everyone, when they set up a LinkedIn profile, you have to set what your industry is. Not everybody sets their industry. And the people who do set their industry, a lot of them set it incorrectly. And people just don't care. Like people don't like, do you even know what your industry on your LinkedIn account is set to?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Like, do you even know what it is?
No, guilty as charged. I don't know.
Exactly. So because of that, you get a bad list. You get a list of people that didn't set the industry or set it incorrectly. And that's the list that you're working. And those people, they're sending connection requests, which you only have a limited. It's like if you have Sales Navigator, it's 150 per week. And they're probably sending messages to unqualified people because they don't have the time to qualify the list, because it takes a long time to qualify a list, right? And they're not doing that. So I get people sending me messages about green technologies a lot. Like, hey, I see that you're working in renewable energy. I'm like, or accounting, like you're in accounting or finance. I'm like, no. Yeah, so I get that so much. I don't know. There must be something up with my account. I don't know why LinkedIn, or maybe I set that incorrectly, or maybe I don't know what it is. But the point is, they're not doing the additional research on top of that. if they did the additional qualification research, they wouldn't have wasted this outreach, because they're literally just wasting, or you're literally just throwing money out the window, because you only have like 150 per week. And if half of them are unqualified, then, you know, of your membership, because you pay $150 a month for Sales Navigator, that means you're throwing $75 out the window each month for not qualifying. That's just dumping money in a garbage can. So why would you do that? But they're doing it because it takes a lot of time to qualify a list. It's just the time it takes is a lot. So like 50% is good enough. So that's the big issue, is that.
Okay. Any other major red flags you see?
And then the message that they send is always the same message. It's always like, hey, I see that you have, congratulations for your success at your business. And then they just go right into the pitch. It's always the same message. And I know that they're using like HeyGen or one of those outreach tools that gives you that standard template. You know, it's just like, these are just regular boring messages. Like, you got to like actually like pitch me something good. Like, tell me how you're going to save me time or how much money you're going to make me, you know, like give it to me straight. That's what I like. There's different message generation styles out there. Some people don't like that, the pitch. They like, depends on the ICP, right? If your ICP is a small business, their time is limited. So they're going to want the pitch. Like, just give me the pitch. If your ICP is in Europe, Europeans hate getting a pitch. So they want like they're conversational people. So they want the conversation. I think Indians are the same way. They like that, or maybe they want the pitch. Maybe they just want the pitch. I'm not really sure.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah. So the message, like how they're
straight to the point. Right. Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so let's take a case. Use case for your automation. What would be the ICP?
It depends on the client. I run this for myself, which I'm a terrible user because I have so many messages. And so a lot of these people reply to me. I just don't even see it because I have too many thousands of unread messages. So, but I'm using it because, you know, I'm the one that's building it, right? But for our customers that are using it, they're getting like 10 to 20% response rates, which is the industry average is like 2%. So that's pretty good.
Right.
It's really good. Yeah. So they're pretty happy about it. It's all autopilot too. So, you know, they don't have to lift a finger. Yeah.
Now let's talk about these building personal brands and what kind of a post works. So, so for you, what kind of a post perform best for you? Storytelling, data driven, tactical, or straight away lead magnet, nothing else?
Lead magnets.
Okay.
People want the free shit. They want the free shit that they're never going to read. That's what they want.
100% true.
Yeah.
I get tons of free magnets like, okay, send me something like Atlas, but just not going to use it, right? That's how everybody does, I'm sure. Okay. So now, so for example, these lead magnets, they don't come overnight. So do you have a specific workflow which you have, or do you plan ahead or rely on a inspiration and pattern recognition from engagement? How do you come out with the lead magnets ideas and then the lead magnet?
Yeah. It all, sometimes I come up with lead magnets just based on my own ideas.
Okay.
Like I get an inspiration from watching a podcast and they talked about something. I'm like, this is really cool. I'm going to make a guide. They make a guide in the podcast and they're doing a lead magnet and I just copied their idea. I'm like, oh, like for example, a lead magnet that I made, My First Million, big podcast. I'm sure you've heard about it. They had HubSpot CEO on the podcast, and HubSpot CEO gave advice on how to rank your business on ChatGPT and other LLMs. He calls it AEO, Answer Engine Optimization. Some people call it Generative Engine Optimization, GEO. We all have different names for it. I think GEO is the most popular. But anyways, they basically they use that as a lead magnet in the YouTube video. Like, click this link, go to HubSpot, download the guide. I clicked the link, I downloaded the guide. It was garbage. Nothing was useful in there. So then what I did was I was like, you know what, but this is really good. I can just recreate this idea. So I recreated the idea And I took a lot of the information that the CEO from HubSpot gave in the video was really useful. So I just took that information. I used AI to read the entire transcript to extract out all the information that he gave. And then I converted that into a lead magnet. My process for creating lead magnets, I use Claude. Claude is the best writer, like by far, way ahead of ChatGPT for writing. Any type of marketing and even coding too is the best. And so I got Claude to write the entire guide, and I reviewed it. I was like, damn, this is really good, incredible. Like this is spot on everything that he said. And then I basically, made the lead magnet post, and that post went viral. I think that's my best performing one, is the AEO one. Yeah, like 5,000, 6,000 comments, 300,000 post impressions. So yeah, so I make it myself. That's one part. The second part is I see something trending and I just recreate it. So for example, my most recent post is about Atlas, about like, here's a guide on how you can use ChatGPT Atlas web browser, and here's all the prompts that you can use just for Atlas. That tells Atlas to do stuff that goes beyond just ChatGPT. And so I was like, that's a great idea. I'm never going to get my hands on this guide, but I can just recreate it. It's pretty easy to do it if you know what you're doing. I know how to do this, so I just recreated it. That's it.
Okay.
And it did really well
yes,
because it was trending.
Doing very well. Right. Now, so how much of your growth would you credit to content consistency versus algorithm strategy?
Well, I think they go hand in hand. You have to be posting on a consistent basis. The LinkedIn algorithm is pretty forgiving. Like you can go like a week without posting, and it doesn't matter. If you go a week without posting and you post something that's people want, then the algorithm will just push it up because people like it. And I've personally experienced this. I've seen it with other people, so it's fine. Like you can go a week without posting. You don't have to consistently post every single day. I've for example, this week I've only posted one day. It was on Tuesday. That's it. I've been so busy dealing with other work stuff. Plus the one post I did went viral. I don't need to do any other post. Like it's done way better than I expected, which is great. I may do a post tomorrow. I don't know what. I'll figure something out tonight.
So my one more follow-up question is, let's say your Atlas post went viral with 3,000 comments and 2,000 likes, and 3 days later you do another post which is not a lead magnet. How well will it do?
Or it depends on the post.
Okay.
Depends on the post. I mean, if I'm talking about something in the news that's trending, then we can expect it to do pretty well. Like maybe like 100 likes, 20 comments, something like that. Maybe like 30, 40,000 impressions, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends. But usually I just do lead magnets. Like for me, it's making lead magnets is very easy. I mean, it still requires work, but I have a very good process for doing it. I can do them very fast.
So how many lead magnets per month you release, or do you have a specific number you should release?
To date, I've done 30 over the past 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like, okay. That's like more than 8, almost 8 per month.
Yeah.
Like 2 per week.
Right.
Average,
2 per week. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, for someone starting from scratch, what does the first 30 day of LinkedIn growth plan should look like?
Copy what's working.
Okay.
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel, just copy somebody else. That's my advice. You can go out there and you can make your own name, make your own brands. It's going to take a long time until people notice you and people start trusting you and people start following you. Sure, if you really know your shit, then that will work. Some people can move faster than others because, for example, some people who used to work at a prestigious tech company, like, for example, OpenAI, they can put in their name like X OpenAI or X Meta or X Google or whatever. Then they're going to get, and they probably already have a pretty big following because they're, part of that prestigious Silicon Valley network. So they don't really need to do the lead magnets because they got the name, right? But for the rest of the 99.9% of the world, we gotta, time is money. And the fastest way to get ahead with building your brand on LinkedIn is lead magnets. And what lead magnets work, just look at LinkedIn and see what people are posting and just copy that. Lead magnets vary. Like, for example, I do lead magnets about AI. I see people do lead magnets about sales. That's a big one. I see people do lead magnets about Upwork. Like these are the best strategies for writing prompting on Upwork, and they're only doing stuff about Upwork and freelancing, for example. I see stuff about ads, advertising related lead magnets. So honestly, they can be about anything, really.
Okay.
You just got to pick your niche, and then just follow the people that are like authoritative in that niche.
Now, let's say when a customer comes to you, do you help them with what exactly? Let's say, for hypothetically, I run a digital marketing agency for white label clients. Now I approach John. So what happens next?
We actually, as of this week, started offering this service. So we're onboarding our first client right now. So we just built out the operational processes for this. So yeah, we're offering, in addition to the service that I've told you about, we've branded it. It's called leadpanther.ai. We have a nice looking website for it. It's mainly word to mouth marketing right now, but we're offering a done for you service where we will create 4 lead magnets for scratch for that client. And what we're doing is we're trying to position them as like an authoritative voice in their space. We're bringing on a guy that's he's in the real estate investment space, and there's a lot of investors and they want, I don't know, like they want pretty much insights. Like they want free stuff on insights. So what we, part of our process is we ask them for, okay, like what is your area of expertise? What are you an SME in? What internal marketing materials do you have that you only send to clients? Send us all of that. So they send us to all over, we synthesize it, and we come up with like a plan, basically like a calendar of like, these are the ideas that we came up with. We let them choose of the top 4 that they think makes sense. And then we create the lead magnets for them. We try to relate the lead magnets to whatever is trending. Like, for example, in the real estate investment space, like these are how real estate investors are using the Atlas web browser to prompt and find deals, evaluate deals, find hidden properties, etc. They're using these prompts in Atlas. So that's a way that we can tailor it to something that's trending, so that they get the reach. And it's about reach, because if it's trending, if you can relate the lead magnet to your niche into something that's trending and bring it together, oh buddy, it's going to blow up. Or at least it's going to do way better than not being about the trending thing. It will get tens of thousands of views and probably hundreds, maybe even 1,000 comments, versus the one that's not about the trending thing that will just get thousands of views and, if you're lucky, 100 comments. So that's our process.
So and of course it comes with the end-to-end automation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. So once the automation happens, then the customer is on their own to engage with that particular prospect. That's not end-to-end. End-to-end stops once it sends the lead magnet done, right?
Correct. Okay. Yeah. The strategy is to get them to come to you. That's the whole point of the lead magnets, hence the word magnet, because it attracts something to you, right? That's yeah. Okay. So, but it works. I mean, like, geez, I need to pay somebody just to go through. I need to build an automation to go through my DMs and to respond and qualify my DMs and respond to everything. I did have one of these built, and I did experiment with it. It worked too well. My calendar was packed, so I turned it off because I was just getting too many conversations, and some of them were qualified, some of them were unqualified. Yeah. If I had the time, I could go through it and tweak it, and eventually I will do this. It's on my roadmap of stuff to do. But yeah, you wouldn't believe how many people actually just like reach out to you about like anything. Like I get people asking me if I can offer them AEO services or GEO. It's like, I need my product listed on this. I've had 3 people contact me this week about this, about like, do you offer this service or do you have a product for this? I'm like, no, I don't, but I should clearly.
So a lot of time we come across a lot of not lead magnet but post where people are talking, okay, the same thing you should be doing on Facebook and Instagram. So have you thought about, or do you have any experience? Well, let's say I have a lead magnet here. Should I be pushing it on Facebook, maybe with a small amount of budget of ads or something like that?
Yeah, cross-platform is
Yeah.
kind of what you're talking about. Yeah, and I have done that. I have seen something trending on X, for example, and I've taken that idea and I've put it on LinkedIn. And sometimes it does well, sometimes it doesn't. So
So my
it
question
depends
was,
on the
does
audience.
this? So my question is, let's say you make a lead magnet for me. Would it make also sense to put it on Facebook?
Yeah, absolutely. I do this. I have an automation that takes all of my LinkedIn posts, and reposts it, rewords it, reposts it, and puts it on Instagram, Facebook, X, and Threads. And they do not do well on those
That
platforms.
was my next question. Okay. All right. Okay. And now when you are doing automation, so what is one biggest mistake you see agencies or individual making with the automation?
Who?
While somebody doing automation on LinkedIn, do you see people doing some mistakes on that? Or do you have an experience when you see people doing something which you should, no, don't do that.
Like in with respect to building an automation or selling an automation?
Running the automation.
Well, I mean, not everybody gives away their automations.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people that that claim to be automation experts and know nothing about automations, don't even have any installed, and have no idea what a scheduled trigger is or something, or what JSON is. Like, they have no idea. So, I mean, everyone's posting pictures of their workflows. And of course, I look at these workflows and I can be like, okay, this is wrong. They should have done this differently. But I know that a lot of people that are posting these workflows, it's not their workflow. They just got it from somebody else. So it's kind of pointless to critique a workflow that I know this person did not build it. This person's a marketing guru. They know nothing about automations. And I know for sure that this person doesn't do automations, because every time they're posting a picture of a workflow, that workflow is different. Like, the people who make their own automations, they're consistent with how they structure their workflows. There's a
Right.
consistent style. Right? It's
Right.
like the same thing when you make a document. When you make a document, you like your headers done a certain way. You have your page number in the bottom right-hand side, right? Like, there's a consistency to how you make these documents. The same thing with workflows. There's a consistency to it. And if a person's posting a workflow and that workflow is different every single time, the way that they structure their nodes, the way that some workflows use a lot of AI agents, other workflows that should have used AI agents don't use any AI agents, for example, or the way that they label their workflows, like, that's a big indicator. Some developers label the workflows really well. Other developers label stuff sort of well, and other developers just don't label anything. And so that's a really telltale as well. Another thing to look for is a lot of people they'll just make a workflow. They'll get Claude or ChatGPT to make the JSON file. They put that JSON file into N8N, and then they take a screenshot of it, and they say, this N8N file can do all these different things. And if you look at the picture, you see that a lot of these nodes are hallucinated, like, they're not real nodes. They don't exist. Number two is there will be a lot of red boxes. And when we see all those red boxes, that means it doesn't work.
Right.
So those are the things you got to look for.
Sometimes I even see they share a workflow, but then when you request them, nothing comes to you.
Well, it's because they're not using my system. That's why. It could be two reasons. They don't have the time to respond, or they just have nothing to give. Because,
right.
Yeah, which is, I think, what you were alluding.
Right. Now, how do you think LinkedIn automation will evolve over the next few years?
Well, first of all, you're not allowed to do automations on LinkedIn. That's completely banned. But the guys who are really good at it, like myself, we know how to make automations that mimic human behavior. So LinkedIn has no idea if it's you or if it's automation. It has no idea. but it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's already getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It has to. There's the only way that you can compete is to do automation, because automations is they run all around all the time, right? They're faster, they're better and cheaper than humans are. So this is the biggest threat to the Philippines ever. I think automations is going to take out a lot of jobs in the Philippines. Sadly speaking, I don't have any virtual assistants, but I know a lot of CEOs, startup founders, and they have armies of virtual assistants. And I'm like, dude, you can replace all of those with automations if you want. So the new and up and coming people like myself who are pro automation from day one, we're never going to get virtual assistants. Never. I'm never going to have a virtual assistant, just because they need to know what I know, and they don't have the technical expertise that I do. Therefore, they're of no use to me because I can automate their jobs. So why would I have them? They're just wasting space, wasting my time. That's it. But if I couldn't automate them, then yeah, I would have them, because they do take up, I can offload stuff to them, right? But I have like literally armies of AI agents running all the time that are checking my emails, sorting my emails, doing all the stuff that these people would do, responding to comments. Why do I need them? I don't need them.
Okay. Now, so if you were starting from zero again, I mean, you said you wouldn't need a virtual assistant. You did hire one. So if you have to start with zero again, what would you do differently?
I would do the same thing, man. I would still get a virtual assistant because I learned the areas what they're good at and what they're bad at. They do a lot more bad than good. But you know, it was the inspiration for coming up with my systems. Like if they didn't make all these mistakes and were inconsistent and did bad responses, inconsistent responses, didn't respond to everybody, then and responded too much, which got my account banned, then I wouldn't have had the need to do this. If they were perfect and worked like systems do, then I would have just kept them. I wouldn't have had a need for automations. But because they were inconsistent and made all these errors, then yeah, I was like, this is bad. I need to replace humans. So honestly, I would do the same. My approach has worked really well. Like, as you see, like really short time, I've grown really fast. So I don't know how I could do it any better than that. I don't know.
All right. Let's wrap it up with the few quick fire rapid questions. So if you are ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One automation you can't live without.
The responding to the comments and handling the lead magnets. I can't live without that.
And most underrated LinkedIn growth hack.
Lead magnets.
That's not, I think that's overrated.
No, there's nothing else really. There's just that. Everything else is pointless. It doesn't really result in meaningful results.
Okay. AI tools you are loving right now.
I like Claude. Claude's my favorite. I recently came across Grok. Grok is really good at reasoning. A lot of my automations use a lot of reasoning, like justify why this lead is qualified or unqualified, justify why this comment is lead magnet or not. And Grok is really good at that. It's really fast and really cheap. So I just recently discovered Grok and I was like, holy shit, Grok API is really good. Way better than ChatGPT. ChatGPT was much more, it was incorrect a lot of the times. And if I wanted the reasoning model, it was really expensive. So I was like, fuck ChatGPT, pardon my French. I was like, screw this. So then I discovered Grok. Somebody said Grok. I heard it on a podcast. Like, I gotta give it a try. Really good. Yeah, impressed. And Atlas, Atlas, I haven't actually played with it, so I don't know if it's good or not. I'm not a fan of ChatGPT, to be honest. It's just not that good. I don't like the whole ecosystem. It's not very good. It's okay. It's just okay at a lot of different things. But if you're going to use a new web browser, Atlas, Comet is really good by Perplexity. It's a really good web browser. It's really good at deep research. It can do live deep research. So you can tell it to search the web and it searches the web like a human in real time, whereas ChatGPT can't do that and Grok can't do that. None of the other ones can do that. Only Perplexity can search the web in real time. So it's really good at that. That's a really underrated tool.
Right. All right, with that, we come to the end of the show. And John, this was an amazing deep dive, especially into the N8Ns. And of course, the fact that you are not just talking automations like other gurus out there, you're actually building it and using it for yourself. And for our listeners, we'll link to John's LinkedIn and his automation resources in the show notes, specifically with his new website, which is
leadpanther.ai.
leadpanther.ai. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who's building their lead magnet right now. And once again, John, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks, Naveed.
And until next time, keep automating, keep creating, and keep growing smarter.